welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. Hope you're doing well in the summer. Today's video, I'm going to be doing something that I do sort of periodically. It's whereby I take all of the books of one colour off my shelf and I read the first line of them and I battle them against one another to pick one to go on my TBR. And I've worked my way through red books, orange books, yellow books. The book I read last month for yellow books, Gears for Queers, absolutely loved it. And now we're on green, so you'll notice that there are some green books left, and that's because I don't include rereads in this because it's about reading books on my shelves, and I don't include the second in the series because obviously then I'd need to read the first in the series. So we've got a whole host of green books here. Strangely, a lot of these books are books that I have started and then not continued with, and then thought, oh, I'll go back to those. So some of these first lines might be a little bit familiar to me. But yeah, there's a fair few, and we'll start with one that I had started. So I started Nettleback by Nat Reeve. A couple of years ago, I remember buying it. Well, this is how far I got, 68 pages. But I remember absolutely loving this when I was reading it. But then, I tell you what happened. I started reading it in November, and then in December, I read all Christmas books. So I didn't get round to finishing it before November was over, and then when I wanted to restart it when I did it again, which I never have done. So let's have a look and see if the first line does anything for me. If I remember rightly, map, yeah, so it's sort of, well, this is about a bit confusing, right? Okay, well, I mean, this is the first line, so I get, although maybe I should skip it because, no, this is the first line. So it looks like it's an advertisement for a particular tincture or something. It says tincture. In which some strange decisions are made on my behalf. Nettleback's tincture, a blessing to the mildly unwell, sold and posted everywhere in 3 to 4.5 inch decorative bottles, prepared to a secret family recipe which has been providing relief to customers in their droves since 1740. Well, obviously that's winning. I'm trying not to have any other, because I was very much enjoying this, but that's not what this is about. It's about the first line. Also, great front cover. I did say last time I'm going to do one of these videos whereby I go through the things and pick the front cover, judging a book by its cover. Okay, so that's obviously winning at the moment because it's the first one. Next up, I've got Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. This came out in March this year. A few people have said to me that this has been their favourite book of the year so far, so let's see if it's got a great first line. Cyrus Shams, Keady University 2015. Maybe it was that Cyrus had done the wrong drugs in the right order, or the right drugs in the wrong order. But when God finally spoke back to him after 27 years of silence, what Cyrus wanted more than anything else was a do-over. That's a pretty good first line. Okay, that's winning. Well done, Martyr. Then I've got Feminism for the 99%, a manifesto. And this is by Cinzia Aruza, Tithi Bhattacharya and Nancy Frazier. I always say that I feel like non-fiction books get a bit of a raw end of the deal here, but last month was a non-fiction book and I've loved it. A manifesto, a fork in the road. In the spring of 2018, Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg told the world that we would be a lot better off if half of all countries and companies were run by women and half of all homes were run by men, and that we shouldn't be satisfied until we reach that goal. Is that better than the drug thing? I think it is, yeah. I think that's overtaken. Feminism for the 99%. I'm interested to find out where that's going. Then I've got Laurie and Joe by Amy Arnold. This is from a small press that sent me 3 books. I don't know anything about this. Here we go. It's early, it isn't quite light, and the fog is down over the fell. Still down, Laurie thinks, as she rubs at her eye again, and well, she hasn't exactly given it much of a chance to clear. No, she shouldn't go expecting miracles with the eye when she's only just got herself out of bed. And Laurie stands there at the kitchen window and looks out over the valley. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that was flowing. Yeah, so no for me. We're still with Feminism for the 99%. Then we've got Summer Water, which is another one I started. I think I might have started this during lockdown. 2020. So yeah, I probably did start this during lockdown, but then I think maybe I started it and then it wasn't summer anymore and I was like, I wanted to read this in summer. So I mean, this would be great if this one now, but we'll see. The Sounds of Blood and Air, Dawn. Okay, I'll give myself more than that. If the first line is just one word, we'll give it more than that. The Sounds of Blood and Air, Dawn. There's no sunrise, no birdsong. No, no, not enough for me. Feminism for the 99% still here. This is How to Love a Jamaican, Stories by Alexia Arthurs. And I couldn't find anything that I'd actually read this before, but I think I might have started it. So this first story is called Light Skinned Girls and Kelly Rowlands. The first time I saw Cecilia, she was the only other black girl in our small group during freshman orientation. Do you know what? I'm interested in the story, the title of the story, and that first line more than I am with this. So this is Overtaken. So Light-Skinned Girls and Kelly Rowlands. Oh, I'm interested. The first time I saw Cecilia, she was the only other black girl in our small group during freshman orientation. It's won it. Another short story collection. This is Because I Don't Know What You Mean and What You Don't by Josie Long. I find Josie Long very funny. So let's see what her short stories are. So this is A Good Day. You really want to kill your dad, Amber says. Oh, that's a great first line. You really want to kill your dad, Amber says. Yeah, we'll keep that. Oh, this has been boom, 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 boom. River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. This came out last January. Let's have a look. The soil on the island was fertile, but everything laid down shallow roots. No, that's not better than You Really Want to Kill Your Dad, Amber said. In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I last month read Wolf Song by TJ Klune, which I found sort of hilariously daft, even though it was just took itself very seriously. And although the book itself was massive and I didn't love the plot, like I quite enjoyed being in the sort of world with all those characters for a long time, and I think maybe TJ Klune and I aren't done yet. So I have put already on my TBR Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, but I have this other one, which is a green spine, called In the Lives of Puppets, which I believe to be a retelling of Pinocchio. It came out last April. Let's see what the first line says. In an old and lonely forest, far away from almost everything, sat a curious dwelling. Still not as good as You Really Want to Kill Your Dad. Very into that. How Beautiful We Were by Mbolo and Bew. I feel like I've maybe started this before, or maybe I'm just remembering from when I did first line battles and I used to take one from each colour, but yeah. We Should Have Known the End Was Near. It's not giving me much, is it? No, we're still going with this one. Factory Girls. I'm sure I've started this before, by Michelle Galland. Let's have a look. Set in the 90s, she might be into it. Thursday, 2nd of June 1994, 74 days until results. Maeve Murray was just 18 years old when she first met Andy Strawbridge, but she knew he was a fucker the moment she laid eyes on him. Oh, that's really good. Maeve Murray was just 18 years old when she first met Andy Strawbridge, but she knew he was a fucker the minute she laid eyes on him. Oh, this is hard. You really want to kill your dad, Amber says. Fucker, you really want to kill your dad. Oh my God. Oh God, I really don't know. That's such a good first line. You really want to kill your dad, Amber says. Yeah, I think it might be Andy Strawbridge being a fucker that's just done it. Yeah, it is. Literally just edged it across. Okay, well done, well done. Then we've got The Other Side of Mrs. Wood by Lucy Barker. This came out last year. This is a proof copy. It's a gorgeous proof copy. I mean, look at that with this underneath it. And a little tidbit for you here. If I'd have taken David's name when I married him, I would be Mrs. Wood, but I didn't. Chapter 1. February 1873, oh God, she can't read properly. Chapter 1, February 1873, 27 Chepstow Villas, Notting Hill. Mrs. Wood's seances took place in the dark, just as all interesting things should. Mrs. Wood's seances took place in the dark, just as all interesting things should. Yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as Andy Strawbridge being a fucker. This is a poetry collection called Cannibal by Safia Sinclair. Let's have a look. We'll take the first poem. Oh no, that's not hers, that's a thing. Home. Have I forgotten it? Wild conch-shelled dialect, black apostrophe curled tight on my tongue. Or how the Spanish built walls of broken glass to keep me out, but the doctor bird kept chasing and raking me in. This place is your place, wreathed in red sargassum, ancient driftwood nursed on the pensive sea. It's hard for me with poetry because I've got a very specific type of poetry that I like, and I think it involves a lot of explanation and a lot of sort of like, this is what this poem's about, and here's the poem, and now this is what I thought about the poem, and like so just going straight into a poem, maybe it was never gonna win, but yeah, that's not done it for me. Then I've got Haven by Emma Donoghue. I have a really hit and miss relationship with Emma Donoghue because some of her books I love and some I find terrible. So love Room and love The Pull of Our Stars, which is actually another green one. That was one of my favourite books a couple of years ago. But yeah, some I've given up on pretty quickly. So let's see if I give up on this one pretty quickly after one line. Monastery. Trian's stomach growls. Trian's stomach growls. It's not as good as Andy Strawbridge being a fucker. Is it Andy Strawbridge? Andy Strawbridge it is. Ruth Ozeki, My Year of Meats. I've enjoyed Ruth Ozeki books in the past. Enjoyed the Book of Form and Emptiness. I believe that was the book I wanted to win the Women's Prize the year it won. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. One day, Lord Korichika, the Minister of the Centre, bought the Empress a bundle of notebooks. Now, that is interesting because I do really like notebooks. But I still think Andy Strawbridge is the winner. Right, so this is the last time we're going to be battled against. So otherwise Factory Girls has won. And this is Hedge Witch by Skye McKenna. And this has got the most beautiful front cover. It's got a little girl with red hair, like me, on a broomstick with a cat on it who looks a lot like Dappy. And then in the trees, there's lots of animals and sort of, oh God, this looks brilliant. Yeah, that's another one that I'm interested in doing the, oh, and it starts with a map. Okay, this is looking good. Chapter 1, The Invisible Girl. Cassandra Morgan was hiding in the broom cupboard. I mean, yeah, it's no Andy Strawbridge is a fucker. Right, okay, so let's read As a Treat, because this is the book that will be being added to my TBR. Let's read the first 3 lines. Thursday, 2nd of June, 1994, 74 days until results. Maeve Murray was just 18 years old when she first met Andy Strawbridge, but she knew he was a fucker the minute she laid eyes on him. In fairness, she'd expected it. He was an Englishman who drove into the town for work. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. There we go. So this is the winner. This is the book that is going on my TBR. Let me know what first line you probably would have picked, or if you, like me, might have gone for Andy Strawbridge being a fucker. And yeah, keep an eye on my reading wrap-ups to see what I thought of this book, and I will see you all again soon for another book video. Goodbye!